Okay, you guys, good morning. Good morning, you guys. I am off until Thursday or Friday. Hopefully, I can have my new device here on Thursday, and I can get back to working and everything. Um, Boy, this really throws a wrench in my parade, because I pretty much kind of had it figured out pertaining to work, and each day that I'm not on the clock, it's time and money, being taken away. So hopefully my phone can be here um, Thursday. Hopefully, I could have got it expeditedly shipped out, but it would have cost me $18 more to have it shipped here. Um, One thing about Google, they're pretty quick on getting the orders out within a certain amount of time. So I placed the order yesterday, and most likely they're going to be shipping the phone out on tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow, so that it can be here for Thursday. Because I know when I upgraded my device that I'm on right now, which is the Google Pixel 10, it literally um it took a day and a half for it to get to me. Um I'm not going to spend an extra $18 to have a device expeditedly shipped to me when I can just wait until Thursday and it can get here. Um but yeah, I just wanted to get on here to let you guys know that I'm off. Um my job contacted me yesterday um to let me know about my device, and a lot of people for work had been complaining about their devices, and um you know so they've done their investigations on these devices, and my device that I'm on is not compatible with my workspace. So they told me to pause everything until I can get that new device, and uh, either upgrade the well, not upgrade, but downgrade the device, and or use another device that would be compatible with my workspace. So I literally had to get in contact with Google last night and let them know, hey, I'm going to be adding a second line to my line, which I wasn't trying to do. I wasn't trying to add a second line, but I think it kind of worked out because being that I work from home and everything, um, being that I work from home and my phone is kind of like my workspace and personal space, it may be for the best to have a second line. Um, Especially working in tech operating software field, and they were just letting me know, we damn near need you on the team. If possible, we don't need you to leave. We just need you to kind of like figure out what you're going to do, and if you're going to downgrade the device or use another device that you and I do have a Samsung S23 Ultra. But you guys, my kids have locked the damn phone up. Like I charged it up last night, and it kept giving me an error message like your phone's password has been entered in too many times. You have to wait 8 hours. So 8 hours would be like sometime this morning that I could attempt to unlock it. I am gonna have to bring the phone into like a phone shop to get them to unlock it because I don't know the password to get in it, and I don't want to lock it up to the point where I will never be able to get in it. So what I'm probably gonna have to do is take it into a phone shop and get them to like unlock it and master reset it, which I did not want them to do because I have a lot of pictures on there, and the only way for me to get into the phone is to master reset it, right? I was thrown this curveball last night by my job. I so happily got on the my workspace and saw where they had DM'd me, and I'm like, whoa, this really changes things here. And I immediately got in contact with Google and told them, hey, I'm gonna need to add another line on here. And thank God I had some credit under my account, and thank God I could go ahead and put another line on my line, but I was definitely not trying to add another line on my line with the way how the economy is going, which I'm starting to see more and more people complain about what they voted for. I mean, you guys voted for this. All 77 million of you voted for this. All of you MAGA, all of you Trump supporters, all of you right wingers. I mean, you guys voted for this administration. So I'm confused about what are we complaining about? You guys wanted the price of eggs and gas to go down. You wanted the tariffs. You wanted racism here. You wanted misnogamy here. You wanted sexism here. I don't understand what's the problem. I have been talking to a lot of men, and these men are telling me that they cannot afford out here. I've talked to a non-black man and I've talked to a black man, you guys. And the non-black man told me that his job is getting ready to open up 40,000 positions. He does like mechanical work in elevators and stuff like that. And that's what he is. He's like electrician for like elevators. Like he's the person who fixes elevators when they're broken. Um, he said that the company that he works for, they're getting ready to open up like 40,000 positions. And they're going to be doing extensive drug testing and all kind of stuff. And we just got the yibber yakking or whatever. And, I don't really talk about my profession to men. I don't really talk about a lot of things with men because, you know, safety and, personal reasons. And he was just telling me how expensive things are getting. And I wanted to ask him, did you vote for Trump? Did any of you men vote for Trump? Did you vote for Trump? You know, I mean, you guys, and the reason why I'm saying it like that is because Trump had a lot of male supporters. And you men who are sitting up complaining about what's going on, you actually voted for Trump. You voted for women's rights to be taken. You voted for racism. You voted for misnogonism. You voted for sexism. You voted for capitalism. You voted for greedism. You voted for the patriotism nonsense. I mean, what are we complaining about, man? You guys said you wanted to make America great again. You said that you wanted women back in the kitchen, being self-servitude, barefoot and pregnant. You said that Trump was going to make everything good here. I just sent to the grocery store and nothing is great here, man. No, I sent to get tuna because I'm getting ready to make tuna salad again because it's the cheapest thing out there right now compared to chicken wings, which I managed to get a pack of those on sale for $11. Yes, you guys. And I should have just went on ahead and got a couple of packs. Um, but my household, we buy day by day here. Day by day, we buy groceries here because I'm actually comparing the prices of food week by week, day by day. So I sent to get some tuna salad and everything to make up my tuna salad, right? And I sent to get some ham because my daughter loves ham. Her and my son. I just don't understand what you guys are complaining about. You guys wanted Daddy Trump to fix America. You thought Trump was going to give you a wife and a family, and you got men sitting online saying, yeah, because women have no choice but to deal with men. They can't even afford to put gas in their cars. Neither can you men. Neither can you. Neither can you. You guys, 2 days ago, I cooked stewed chicken and gravy and yams, right? I'm going back to cooking those types of meals because everything is so expensive. Everything is getting so expensive, and no one can afford to eat. No one can afford to eat, you guys. I ended up sending to the grocery store yesterday to just pick up my kids some snacks. And my idea of snacks is not chips and candy and all that sugary stuff. I ended up getting my kids some cheese and crackers and Teddy Grahams and uh just healthy snacks, right? Like trail mix, cereal, not cereal bars, the marshmallow treats, just healthy snacks, things that are not going to give them cavities and make them be hyperactive in the house. And I mean, oh, I managed to get one box of Little Debbie pies. I love the oatmeal cream pies, you guys. Damn, they're $50. Oh, I did get a gallon of juice. So that was really about the only sugary snack that I bought. No sodas, no none of that, you guys. 50 fucking dollars just for that. $50. $50, you guys, just on a couple of little packages. I think less than 10 packages. I told my kids yesterday, and I'm going to tell you what I did. I went and bought a pitcher, right? And Akina, why would you go and do that? Because I love making teas, and my kids love drinking juice, and a pitcher is good to have, and it's good to have for a couple of reasons. So I ended up getting a pitcher, and I bought a gallon of Hawaiian punch, and then my kids already had a gallon in the house that they had started drinking. I ended up putting that Hawaiian punch in the jug, and I got it extremely cold for them. And I kid you not, the whole gallon of juice was gone in like less than 24 hours. Like before the night over with, it was gone. And I said, well, I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go buy Kool-Aid packs and a 5-pound bag of sugar. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Even the Kool-Aid packs are going up. Yeah. The little 35 cents Kool-Aid packs your parents used to buy when you were kids. I think they used to be like a dime or 15 cent a pack. Oh no. No, they're like 50 cent a pack. And I got different kinds, right? Because I think this is gonna be the to-go thing with the way how much juice my kids drink. I I'm now going back to Kool-Aid packs. And the good thing about Kool-Aid packs is you can add fruits and different things in there. So if I make my kids some grape juice, right? Grape Kool-Aid, I can throw some orange slices in there and it can kind of fill them up, right? With fruit in their juice and, not a whole lot of fruit, but just some fruit pieces in there. I would get the oranges and kind of like dice them up and, put them in there and, I think it's going to be more healthier, right? And they'll have a lot more juice from the fruit and the juice itself, and I think they will be more fulfilled from that than just drinking straight juice. And the way how things are getting right now and how expensive things are, I think we're going to have to be creative like that, you guys. I add fruit in my water. um and believe it or not, a lot of people do that because it brings a lot of nutrients in their water and it oxidizes their water. But not only that, some people do that because they're dieting. And I mean, at this point, America, I mean, we're literally dieting at this point. Can we really afford to eat? Can we really afford anything out here? I'm telling you that that pack of chicken wings that I bought a couple of days ago, I didn't use the whole pack, but I did use half of it to cook what I had to cook, right? Normally, a pack of chicken wings like that would have cost me $16 or $17. But I only ended up paying $11 for it. And I'm grateful that I paid that. And I'm grateful for the food that I have, but I'm just letting you guys know it's getting expensive out here. And if you don't have any food put back, you're screwed. I told my grandmother in here yesterday, because she has an upright deep freezer that they need to clean out. I told her, the minute I get into my apartment, I want a nice, decent size upright freezer. Nothing too big, nothing too heavy. I want a decent one to put some meat and stuff in there and, different things in there like my rice and not sugar, my rice and um you can't freeze flour, you can't freeze sugar, but definitely my rice and meats and dried things I want to put in there, because I'm telling you guys, if things continue the way that it's going in this country, nobody's going to be able to afford to buy anything. And that's literally the route we're going, you guys. And nobody can afford to eat. Nobody can afford to eat. And, my thing is, all 77 million of you voted for this. You knew what Trump was going to do to this country, but you voted for it. You voted for it. You voted for it. And you voted with your lack of empathy and understanding to what a goddamn tariff was. And the mere fact that many of you thought that you can go back and change your votes after you cast your votes was absolutely insane. Some of you need to go back to civics class. I don't see things getting any better here, you guys. And if I were you, I would start getting some canned goods. And I would start getting some shelf-stable foods. And I would start building a pantry within my home. If I were you, that's what I would do. I would start getting different kind of pots and pans like what I have to cook different meals in, because we're coming to a point in time where it's just getting expensive. Like, I am probably, the rest of the chicken that I have, I'm probably going to fry it and I'm going to cook a pot of red beans and rice and some smoked meat in there, and I'm going to make a meal. And my kids are like, why are you cooking these heavy poor man meals? Because those heavy poor man meals is what's keeping your bellies full. Okay? The stewed chicken and gravy is keeping you full. The red beans and rice is keeping you full. The salmon and rice is keeping you full. Those tuna sandwiches that I'm making, I'm adding extra eggs in there to get you full. A pot of grits will keep you full, right? That's my mentality. What can I cook to make sure that my kids are not eating all day every day? And in my house, yeah, we do cook a big pot of grits. And we don't add sugar in our grits or none of this extra stuff that you guys do. I don't know nothing about that. And we tend to make it heavy so that those kids are not coming back in there looking for second plates. You know, when I was growing up, we ate a plate of red beans and rice around dinner time, right? We ate our breakfast and then we ate a plate of red beans and rice. Those red beans and rice kept us full until nighttime. And you know, I thank God my grandmother taught me how to cook. While my sisters were out here chasing boys and worried about boys and men, I was in the house learning how to cook. I was in the house learning how to sew. I was in the house learning how to garden. I watched my grandmother and grandfather tend to gardens, and my grandfather was definitely into gardening. And I miss that man each and every day because not only did he do gardening, he built chairs, like those rocking chairs. And a lot of those crafts is what we're going to need, especially in times like this. Like if he were here, I would definitely would have loved a rocking chair, you know, to be able to rock my children, the children that I have now. And he was working on a rocking chair for me, for my son, up until he passed. And right when he passed, I had my son. Well, not him per se, but I had an auntie who passed when I had him, but he wasn't here when I had my son. So he took a lot of memories and a lot of crafts with him when he passed. And those are the kind of things that we're going to need right now to be able to survive what's coming, whatever's coming. Snooks, what are you doing? Whatever's coming, you know, I don't know what's coming, but one thing is for sure, it's not good here. You know, no one can afford rent, no one can afford food, no one can afford this, no one can afford that. But you guys voted for this. You guys voted for this administration. You voted so that the rich class could take over everything and the middle class wouldn't even exist. You guys voted for this. I shouldn't be paying $6 for a freaking tube of deodorant. Yeah, I think my deodorant is anywhere from $6 to $7. And you know, I'm now having to buy our deodorant in doubles. Like when my girls, they use a certain type of deodorant, I have to buy the deodorant in the double pack. My son, the double pack. My deodorant, the double. And it keeps us from having to go into the store constantly buying deodorant. Same thing with soap. I don't just go and buy the 4 bars of soap. That wouldn't even last in my house. That wouldn't even last a good 2 weeks. Um, and with that, when my son uses the soap, I allow my daughter to use the soap, you know, until it runs to nothing. And when we're down to the last little piece of soap, I get all that soap and put it together. And hey, we're going to use it until there's nothing left, right? We're going to use that little piece of soap until there's nothing left. Now I just use body wash. And I put body wash in my kids' bath water and on their loaf that I went and bought them, and they bath up. But the matter, anything to make a save $1, you guys, because it's crazy what's going on out here, and the fact that people don't understand that you can't vote for cruelty and racism and think you're going to have anything great that comes from it. And the mere fact that I've talked to 2 men who are telling me how hard it is out here and how they're comfortably getting by and they're blue collared men is insane. So both of these men that I've talked to are blue collared and they're having a hard time paying bills. It's only going to get expensive, you guys, as time goes on. Because what's going on, the cost of living is not mathing with people's expenses. And like I said, people are just having a hard time getting by. And I definitely wasn't trying to have another bill on top of a bill. Meaning I wasn't trying to increase my bills, and with us moving and everything, it's so expensive, and it's only going to get worse. And I sure hate the fact that I'm gonna be off for 2 days. I sure hate that. So you guys definitely do need to get prepared. Like I told you guys, I created a list in my community wall of some stuff that you guys need to go get: shelf stable items, rice and beans and pasta and cereal and noodles and grits and oatmeal and cereal bars and different things like that. Tuna in the can, sardines in the can, just things that you can kind of get your hands on and eat that can kind of fill you up, because you may not be able to afford what's in the stores. Like chicken and beef is just getting ridiculous. Like for 2 pounds of ground beef, I think I spent $17. Uh, I looked up about the chicken wings that I have. Even the bread is going up. And when I'm making tuna salad, my kids sometimes like to eat it with crackers, not crackers, with grits or bread. And I'm not making 1 or 2 cans of tuna salad, you guys. I'm making 4 to 6 cans, because my oldest daughter absolutely loves it. And she just eats it like it's just nothing. It's ridiculous. And I don't foresee things getting any better from here on out. I'm just going to be honest. And I think it's just going to be important that you guys do what you got to do to be able to make it right now. And like I said, I hate being off right now, because every day that I can make a dollar, I want to make a dollar, and I want to make money. And those 2 days are really going to hit my check um, a little bit hard. And that's why I'm hoping that Thursday the phone is here. And thank God I had the financing credit to get the phone. Um, it's gonna make my cell phone bill go up an extra $40 than what I was paying, but I think it's kind of worth it, especially the type of work that I do. Um, and the mere fact that I'll have a business phone, and then I'll have my regular phone for regular personal calls. And at least on that other phone that I'm getting, which you guys, I had to downsize my phone, like from the Google 10 to now the Google 9. Yes, you guys. So I'll have the 9 and the 10. I know, crazy work. And you want to know what's even crazy? I traded in my Google Pixel 8 for the 10. And that phone is required for work. I could use either the Google 8, um, the Google 9, the 9 Pro. I think I even saw the Google Pixel 6 and 7 on my work list. And I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. Like, I could have just kept well, I had to turn it in because I was having battery issues. I had the phone for 2 years, damn near 3 years. And you know how it is when you're getting a lot of software updates and stuff on your phone. It tends to kind of drain your battery, and it was starting to impact like my battery sensors. And I went ahead and turned it in. No cracks, no serious issues to the phone, right? I did explain to Google what was going on, and they said, hey, no problem. You're under warranty, you're good, just turn it in. And I traded it in, right? Get my work requirement list for devices that could work for my workstation. And that was the first freaking phone that I saw on the list. And if I had a knew what I know now, I would have just got the Google Pixel 9. And I was contented on getting that or the Pro Max. But I guess my phone is too fast for my workstation, is what my job is telling me. And I called Google and I explained to them what was going on. And they tell me, oh, yeah, because your company called and they were calling about Google's phones and your workstation, right? And you work for Micro One. And I'm like, how the hell do you know that? It is because they're working with Micro One, which is crazy. And they told me that there is an approved list of Google devices that will work with the app that I need for work. And I had to downsize my device. So I will have two devices that I'll be walking around here with. Um, and I think it'll be a good thing because as I'm doing my work, I won't have to worry about my phone ringing, you know, in my ear. I won't have to worry about that. I definitely will not have to worry about that. And I can be able to kind of put that other phone on do not disturb and do my work without any issues, and have that business line separate from my personal line and things that I need to do for work, because things are getting tedious with my job. They're getting a little bit more stricter with rules and things like that. And every app that I have on my phone for work, I'm just going to put it on the other device and it'll strictly be for business. And then I'll probably have to update my phone number with my job and just kind of get everything set up with the bank, which I'm going to have to do today. I'm going to have to go ahead and open up another account with my bank and have those deposits go there from my job. But it's a really tough situation, you guys, especially when you're doing work from home, any kind of software technical work, and you run into these kind of problems. And they did email me a ticket number about what kind of device are you using, like a survey thing. And I told them what I was using, and they were like, yeah, your phone's not going to be compatible for the project that we need you to do the project for. So I had to go ahead and upgrade, you guys. I had to. And kind of glad that I did. And I'm gonna go because I've gotten used to this phone here, and I'm gonna get used to the other phone. I'm just going to I'm just gonna hopefully all of my data transfers over to the other device. Hopefully it transfers over and there's no problem with my data being transferred to that other app for workstation. Um Hopefully, fingers crossed. I have no issues with that. Um because I've been putting in a lot of hours this week and last week. So we're gonna see. Um, Outside of that, you guys, that's pretty much what's going on here. Um, those 2 days, like I said, these 2 days of being off is crazy. And the mere fact that my job contacted me to let me know all of this, because I was having technical problems with the device and work, as you guys know, when I first started. And here we are again. So I had to go ahead and get this resolved so that I can continue on with work. And I'm kind of glad that it worked itself out and it got resolved. And it's gonna be just weird having two cell phones. That's all. Um, but a lot of people are probably going to make this decision when it comes to work and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm gonna get back on here in a little